Flag burning is highly disrespectful, whether it is in form of protest or anything else. Autumn Barney makes an interesting point in saying that if you take an American flag and try to make a point, especially in protest, by burning it, that will probably only cause more distance in between the people you want to listen to you, your opinion, and your movement. I have seen flag burning as a form of protest firsthand, and I'm a pretty patriotic person. I believe it is wrong and disrespectful on so many levels. A lot of people brush this topic under the rug, but it really needs to be addressed more regularly. Burning the American flag is an act of serious dishonor to our nation. In this speech, I plan to give you more information about the different ways in which flag burning can be disrespectful and show you why it should be discussed more often and more openly. Flag burning is disrespectful to the Constitution and the founders of it. Flag burning is also disrespectful to the first responders of our nation. And lastly, flag burning is disrespectful to the military and armed forces of our nation. Let me first tell you about the disrespect flag burning shows to the Constitution and its founders. Flag burning is disrespectful to the founders and the Constitution in many ways, actually. The First Amendment is what puts this issue up in the air in the first place. The First Amendment Encyclopedia tells us that the First Amendment states that desecration of the flag is an example of free speech, which in a way is true, but then it can just lead to conversations of what else is considered free speech, like riots and protests and actions that are violent and have consequences. This leads to my next point of symbolic speech. The U.S. court case of Texas v. Johnson says that symbolic speech is a legal term in the United States law used to describe actions that purposefully and discernibly convey a particular message or statement to those viewing it. So yes, flag burning can be considered symbolic speech, but it is outweighed by the flag's status as a symbol of national unity in our country. Respecting our nation goes along with respecting its founders as well. Think about the fact that the founders created all of the past history of the Constitution. If you respect America, maybe not the people in it, but your country itself, flag burning should technically be against your morals. Now that I've talked about the disrespect it shows to the Constitution and founders, let's move on to why it also disrespects first responders. Flag burning is disrespectful to the many different groups of first responders that may help you a lot more than you realize. First responders do so much for us. Firefighters, police, and other groups have their own stripe on a flag even, just to show us that they're pretty essential to our communities. We need them, and burning a flag, one that can salute them, should not be okay. We need to truly realize how essential first responders are to us, and what would happen if they felt disrespected or unappreciated. Now think about the fact that by burning the flag, you could be disrespecting your family, friends, coworkers, and maybe even yourself. You are disrespecting people, not just America, and that is an issue of the heart. I have just discussed why flag burning is disrespectful to first responders, so now I will tell you the many ways in which it disrespects the military and other armed forces too. Flag burning disrespects many groups of people, but this is probably one of the biggest ones. So, to a lot of Korea, Vietnam, Cold War, World War II, Afghanistan, and Iraq war veterans, the American flag symbolizes hope that wars will eventually come to an end and that the deployed soldiers will eventually reunite with their families. You've seen all of those videos of the soldiers coming home and running to their families, and it's hope. They have hope. And sometimes this hope can eventually come to an end too, and a soldier will pass. When a United States soldier, Marine, sailor, or airman dies in combat, the armed forces provide a military funeral if requested by their family. These funerals include military elements such as the attendance of honor guards or the ceremonial act of a rifle firing blank cartridges into the air 3 times. I'm sure you've been to some of these, so you know the drill. Some may be unfamiliar with these customs, though, but most are familiar with the image of a spouse, child, or parent weeping over a casket delicately draped with the American flag. Whatever your stance is on war or on the military, tons of women and men have died while protecting your right to protest. Now in their place is a triangle-shaped field of blue and white filled with stars seen through wooden shadow boxes. And most of the time, those are put on mantles and around the house. Burning the flag is the destruction of a symbol of national unity. Even if the flag being destroyed is private property, your own private property, the government still has solid interest in its protection because of what the American flag represents to this nation. In conclusion, let's review what I have covered in my speech today. First, I explained to you that flag burning is disrespectful to the Constitution and the founders. Next, I stated that it is also disrespectful to the first responders of our nation. Lastly, I talked about how it is disrespectful to the military and armed forces of our nation as well. It is disrespectful to the people of our nation, our military, and our government to burn the flag, as I have just stated. So many Americans have served as soldiers, and some have died for their country and its symbols. It just seems like our government should have a very strong interest in protecting its national symbol of freedom, and so should you. I would like to leave you with a quote from Ronald Reagan. "When we honor our flag, we honor what we stand for as a nation: freedom, equality, justice, and hope." Thank you.